a really good waifu. All right, you can jump in. We'll talk about this.
Shall we?
Sure.
Begin it officially by saying, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Booda, back in the building for another LC Pro podcast with my two pro co-hosts. We got Tweacz
What's up, fellas?
and TheKryptman.
Might you call us pro hosts? How's it going?
I still don't want to ever claim that title just because
what?
I follow it.
I'm saying no. You said co-hosts. The pro co-host.
Ah,
we're the pro host.
the pro
We're
hosts.
portmanteauing
I
the.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it. The puns. Very
Yes, sir.
nice. So we are here today with this newest update. We got
Big time
the
update.
Arc 2 update. Tweacz is very excited.
Dude.
And I've been curious to listen to their thoughts on it all day because I'm hearing myself in the background.
I think it's creepy.
It might be.
Yeah, you're
creeped.
probably catching. Hang on,
A
I
little
can
bit.
fix that.
Thank
Give me
you.
one moment.
There are now two Booda.
Just because I just wanted to address that because it was my mind does not multitask well, so listening to myself
no.
throws me off.
Everybody's bad at that. In fact, it's really
It's a
hard
common
to
thing.
speak when you can hear yourself. It's very difficult to do. There are those the headphones you can put on that give you the delayed feedback loop on your voice, and it makes it so that people can't talk.
speak.
It's really funny to watch.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, it literally impairs people.
That's funny. Well, okay, I think
Okay.
we're good now.
Ironed
So
out.
thank you.
Whoa. Hold
That's
up.
pretty nice. But what I was gonna say is, or what I was saying is that I walked into this update in a very salty manner. So
Yeah, you did.
it's
Yeah, you did.
It's I am absolutely one to notice that it skews your impressions so that when you're already salty, any little negative thing then intensifies. And it
100%.
really affects your perception of it. So that's why I've been excited to talk to you guys who have a much more level head. You're not coming from this from such an emotional standpoint. So I'm actually very excited that you Tweacz, and I haven't really talked to you yet, Crypt, but Tweacz sounds very excited to talk about everything that has come so far.
I mean, I've only done one thing today because I was pretty busy. So I'm very excited to learn about story and tower and all this kind of stuff because I just haven't touched it.
Yes.
Yeah, I did everything already. I played for 10 hours straight this morning on stream.
Believe
And I
that.
finished Story, and I finished Tower, and I did the new boss. I still have hard mode to go. I caught at least one of every of the new fish. I caught 2 of the new fish that gives you a UR dust.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I did a lot of things.
Dude,
I had a very, very productive morning.
I commend you for that because, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but I did about a total of 7 to 8 hours of streaming, combining the 2 games that I streamed today. And literally after the last Cloudia stream, I sat on my couch and fell asleep for an hour. So,
I
I'm
went to sleep right after I finished.
yeah.
I'm surprised it was only an hour. Damn.
Well, I set an alarm because I knew I didn't want to just let myself fall asleep.
Yeah, I saw that you were going, but you and I were going at the same time, so
We were.
unfortunately I didn't get to watch you.
I know. It was bad timing.
But yeah, man, I got up at 3 o'clock. I slept okay, so 2 nights ago I didn't sleep enough. I was like, all right, I'm gonna adjust my sleep schedule. I'm not gonna sleep enough so I can go to sleep at 8 o'clock or whatever, and sleep until 2, and then get up and be ready for when it comes out or whatever. So instead, I fell asleep on the couch at 5:30, and I slept for 2 or 3 hours. And then I wake up and it's 8 o'clock and it's oh man, now I gotta kind of try and go to bed or whatever. So I handled some stuff and then I went and I laid down and I just laid there for 3 hours. And didn't get any more sleep at all. And then got up because I had to run to the store and do a couple little things before I streamed. Went to streamed for 10 hours. And then I was all right, I'm done. And just passed out until an hour ago. An hour and a half ago.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, no, there was a lot to do this morning. The new tower floors were totally a thing. The new story is a little bit short, but there's a lot of side areas.
Yeah,
There's a lot
they
of
said
little side stuff.
they mentioned it was going to be pretty short, but there's other stuff that's included in it, right? It's not just maps and then done or
Exactly.
quests and then
Absolutely.
done.
I mean, it took me literally 10 hours straight to do essentially everything. And I'm not like done. There's still hard mode to do. There's still, going back and getting some of the quests that I didn't quite complete
Right.
the objectives on because they are freaking bonkers.
Yep.
And you
God, it's
and you
so crazy.
basically have almost no limitations. You have almost the full extent of the game and its resources available to you with the amount of time you put into it.
Oh,
Like
100%.
you're working with a very powerful account as well, which also helps speed up certain battles and getting through certain challenges.
100%.
Right.
I will say I did deliberately take story a little bit slow. I did a run where it was Kyle and Leona, who was like ability board maxed, but level 30 or whatever when I started, and didn't know anything. And of course, the very first thing I taught her was dual wield. Um, but I did a
Yeah.
run. I did a run of the
I
new
love
story
it.
with just the two of them, and then V for support because V is just incredible and carries everything. So I mean that could have been faster for sure. And then I did the first 74 floors of the tower with no arcs,
That's
or
awesome.
like one arc. I did
Yeah.
lag with Forbidden Book just for apocalypse spamming for magic floors. So I mean it certainly could have been done faster, and that is including a full tower run from 1 to 90. But I mean there's actually a solid little chunk of content here in the
Absolutely.
game.
Bro.
But I finished it all and now I'm bored again. Help.
Right.
You shouldn't be bored again. Though.
It's a
Like,
problem.
there's still stuff for you to do, right? So like, even the
No,
thing,
there's tons of
the
stuff. I
things
need
that
to-
we've done,
Yeah.
and it's gonna take a while for people to figure it out. But like, it's
And there's still
just
hard mode. But yeah,
awesome. So much fun,
I'm
dude.
pretty pleased with like the new stuff that came to the game. We got a bunch of cool equipment, including some stuff that we didn't really have. Like we got the fire sword, which was neat because we don't have anything outside of like I guess there's the salamander sword, and then there's Kagetsuchi.
We have a fire sword, dude.
Yeah.
I wish. Oh man, I'm so mad. Like I didn't get a chance to do all this stuff today because like I don't have it to show. Like
You were busy doing that one thing.
yeah, that one thing, and like I only got a shot at it like every. I don't know. I didn't have that many shots at it, but like. I wish I had more time.
I can tell you were
It's all right,
grinding
though.
away at like this and real life or whatever because like you pop in for like 2 seconds in the
And then I'd
Discord.
disappear
And then
for
you'd be
hours.
gone for like 6 hours. And you come back and be there for just a second.
Yeah, I know, man.
It was fun though, working through some stuff. But anyway, let's get into what we're actually here for.
Yeah, Booda, where would you like to go with this?
Oh man. I think because I think a lot of people, a lot of us, myself included, enjoy your character kit breakdowns.
Okay.
So why don't we go into the one thing
So
that you
I want to
have
actually test
jumped
this
into?
too, right? So I do have Leona, so I was very fortunate to get her. I was going to get her paids anyway, so I did the step up and then 4 more multis. Within those multis, I got her. Not the arc at that moment, but just recently, I wanted to use few of my SSR arc tickets, and I was very, very lucky to get the arc in that. So like I don't have to spend any more gems, which is fantastic.
Nice.
Big pumped about that. Luck sack.
So I did-
That's so sweet.
I did the step up and got literally nothing.
Yep.
Like all blues, maybe 1 or 2 gold orbs, and that was it. And then the very first paid 10 pull that I did to go toward her gear, she was the very first thing on it.
Wow. Nice.
Then I did probably another 70 pulls total just to chase the arc and maybe dupes or whatever. And then I was like, all right, whatever. And I went and I was like, all right, well the arc got added to the permanent pool. So I did a bunch of ticket pulls, probably 20, 30, 40. And there's very, very low chances that you're going to get that. And I didn't use my entire stash. I stopped. I didn't get what I was after. Although there was one on banner pull where it was like 4 orbs and they were all off banner. It was great. So I used a bunch of tickets and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm going to stop. I'll come back to it later. We'll do some story or whatever. So I go and I'm doing the story and Scorba pops into my chat. Shout out to Scorba, who, by the way, gave us the information that the mission for teaching skills tops out at 30,000 skills. So from, I think it's
Why
like
would
12K to
anyone know
30K.
that? It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Scorba would know that.
I know, it's so
So
good.
so he fills me in on that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got the new arc off tickets. It was awesome." I was like, "All right, I'm gonna harness some of that luck. I'm gonna take some of that juju, and I'm gonna put it on these next tickets."
Nice.
And I went and I did like 2 more ticket 10 pulls, and I got the new arc. I was like,
Wow.
yes,
Beautiful.
we're done.
Beautiful, man.
Very,
I
very
used the
nice.
juju.
Yeah,
So
dude.
that was great.
That feels
Can't
good.
complain.
I was
Happy for you,
literally
Chris.
just like flipping through my gotcha pages, and I like went past the ticket one. I was like, wait, hold on a second. Like this is after I got Leona. I was like, wait, I could throw a couple of these in here, or not in here, but in here. And I was just like, I got these SSR tickets. I'll just throw 3 of them at it.
Nice.
Bang! And I was like, oh,
Wow.
thank God. I don't feel like crap anymore
That's amazing.
for like wanting to chase. Because I remember I chased the Hagiopolis arc after I already had Rabala Amber on. I was like, that was just such a stupid decision.
Mhm.
And I didn't do that this time, which is pumped about.
Nice.
As to Leona, I mean, pre-update, I was pretty pumped about her, just because, I mean, mathematically, her damage output is so strong. Now it's not quite Lug tier. It just isn't. Like, you're not gonna get that close. It's not quite Roy tier, but dude, it's right there. Like, it's along the lines of a unit like Shift Alice.
Yep.
Now she doesn't have the whole SCT sustain like either full restore that Alice has, but that's fine.
Right.
You don't need it, but like the actual damage output and how quick her skills are, it's there if you can build it right.
And it's cool.
I'm
to see
very
big
excited to
old
get
numbers.
in. I'm excited to see big old numbers
Yeah.
on her consistently. Yeah, absolutely.
She's gonna have
But-
some real nice Goddess Kiss procs too. From
She
just,
will.
explosively huge.
And while that
hits.
is good, it's still single wield. You only have still half the hits to proc it, so you might not see as much if you're using. Well, since you're not using dual wield, but like it's fine. If you need Goddess, if you have Winter's Apple Pie or Honey Elixir, and you can stack Goddess Kiss on her and make her a soul sustain unit like Alice, like other units do that for themselves. Yeah, she's going to be pretty nutty because her kit by itself is very, very good. But
They tried
I mean,
so hard to make single wield good, and in some places
dude.
it still falls down.
right, but dude, they made it. This is the.
I mean, it's fun. Don't get me
This
wrong.
is obviously. I mean, if you can read her kit. This is the strongest single wield unit we've ever had. Obviously,
Yeah.
But she's also the first unit that you're really just not really ever going to dual wield. Unless, so I haven't tested this, unless her break is ridiculous, which I don't see it being, then you might dual wield. But other than that, no. You're gonna leave single wield on her. Yes, she loses the effect of Trishula. Like you really just can't use it on her. But you're gonna have to use her in battles where you can manipulate enemies' earth resistance, and with Thunder Circle to drop it by 20, or Weak to drop it by 20, or other units that drop it with Earth debuff, or Extreme that chemical drop by 35, stuff like that. Which you can do.
And that's
She's by far the most niche character. Like, she's by far the most pigeonholed. She only does Earth PDPS. You can only run her, like, to get maximum effect, you can only run her single wield Earth Claw. That's it. And there's like one Earth Claw readily available in the game, and you have
also
to play some
don't
new
need
story to get it.
you don't need an Earth Claw, but yes, you just need a claw.
True. But like single wield Claw, and if you don't meet both of those specifications, she loses just so many vital parts of her kit.
yeah.
And that's not to say that you couldn't stack her up as a dual wield and build her like a regular unit and do all sorts of stuff and have her be competitive DPS wise with some of the units that exist.
Right.
But it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work to overcome that. Whereas, it's kind of like Luxeus. You can stack him up, dual wield. You can do whatever you want with him. But if you run him naked, you're going to hit them big numbers real easy.
Right.
So just, this is a character that has a very clear design philosophy. It's got a very clear way to be used, and it's going to be very difficult to, kind of break her out of that mold.
Yeah. You're punished.
I have no doubt people will do all sorts of wacky things, but it's going to be a lot of work to overcome her specificity in her
Her
kit.
shortcomings, yeah.
no doubt.
You're absolutely right in the fact that you're saying she's like pigeonholed, right? Because yes, 100%.
Also, she's going to blow up people in arena. It's going to be hilarious.
Oh, I'm so
Oh my
excited
God.
because her single wield power is
Bonk.
Unreasonable.
I can't wait to see that first 60K arena cap.
Yeah,
screenshot
exactly.
from her.
You're not wrong. Oh
We're doing
my
it,
God.
100%. I may have to set up my defense to be some trash defense and to make it happen, but we're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be awesome.
Wow.
But like, yeah, I mean, we're all super excited to have a single wheel unit that we don't need to use to like. We don't need to not waste equipment, but we don't need to use the other equipment that we have on other units, right?
Sure.
So the best equipment in the game, generally, swords and machines. Generally, she can pretty much only use a claw, which is
Only
sweet
claws.
because like that doesn't interfere with any of our other units. I'm just super excited about that. Like we can use this as a side DPS, and a very strong one at that, but it's not going to mess up the builds of other characters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That is a very interesting perspective.
I mean,
A fair point.
It would be more apparent if we had stuff that took specific elements, right? If we had
Yes.
fights that were like, you can only use earth units, or you can only use fire units. But then, you know, what determines what is an earth unit or a fire unit? Which I imagine is why they haven't done that. But I mean, once the roster gets bigger and we have fights like that, it's going to be really cool to have these characters.
Yep.
Necessary? Absolutely not, especially now.
Nope. But like that's my thing too. Like even with battles that are going to have, I don't know, an enemy with like 75 earth res, you can still stack, drop that down by like 40, 55, 75, like all the way down with using other units, and that's super exciting because you're not limited to using Trishula on her, and you should try to bring out her full potential by not maining Trishula. Like
Right.
that's what I've been excited with lately because I've been using Roy in multiplayer, I've been using Lousius without without Trishula, using just units that have those elements that you can decrease with like again or a weak spell by someone else or you know those circle spells. Like that's people say like, oh, you need Trishula is one of the best weapons in this game. Yes, it is, but if you really wanted to bring out someone's full potential, you would try to make someone weak. Like you try to get more damage from them.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's just a fun little like the direction that they're going with this, and it forcing you to drop in enemies. I mean, if they're resistant, right? Drop in enemies' earth resistance, and trying to find ways to do that. That excites me. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
She's a very specific tool in what has been like the philosophy of characters before has been like, oh yeah, you can make this character do anything, like whatever, you can dual wield, you can single wield, you can, you know, the toolbox is much more varied but less flavorful.
Yeah.
You know, she has a very specific flavor to her kit, and her key abilities.
Flavor now.
I did, yeah,
Okay.
right. Her key abilities, which I didn't even really mess with too much, primarily because I kept forgetting, and then Kyle would just like blap people out of existence.
Fair enough.
Great.
Blap.
But yeah, no, she's gonna be super fun in
Oh my god,
very
I'm so excited.
specific circumstances.
Yep. Totally agreed.
So, shall we get to the
juicy
nitty-gritty
stuff?
details?
All right. So we're gonna go in and test their abilities in battle because I honestly haven't used them that much. I've only noticed them that they just wreck face. So we can talk about our kit specifically. You did a really good job of explaining it in the video.
Oh, good.
So like I don't really need to touch on this too much. But obviously most of this stuff is going to be jumping in with one weapon, it being a claw, and she's being locked to earth damage. That's pretty much all it is. But she hits what she does with that is she hits very, very strong. Again, the key charges I haven't done anything with either, to be honest.
I have a conceptual problem with one of her skills. What the hell is two-handed claw?
Yeah, dude. Yes.
What does that mean?
Don't know. I think didn't Barlene say something about it being just a wonky title?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Streams
But
down.
it's just really funny. But
It just sounds so bad.
It does. It really does. I don't get it either.
The actual skill itself is phenomenal since they buffed all the two-handed skills to have 5k cap instead of 2k. Like that's great, but just the naming of it is painful.
Yeah, right. They just like went with a similarity, but who cares? Yeah, Yeah, so it was actually nice to see. So when you were reading out the video, and they did have typos on that, remember?
Yes.
They literally have had typos.
Okay. Wow.
They should have had it wholeness of body and key release were the other names of the two skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, so we'll get out how I would build her after we talk about her how we talk about her kit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have her built pretty well right now in the mindset of how I would build her. But she has a lot of unique stuff, which is cool. She has Pride 2, which is the first time we've ever seen it, at max HP plus strength plus 30%, which is a big boost. And for free. Fighter's Insight is cool. It's essentially a chivalrous mindset if you have claws and clothes. That's on like Roland, and I believe it's on Kyle and Ruto. Just like same stuff as that. Just gives you the equip itself. Its strength is boosted by 50%, and then the clothes stats themselves are boosted by 30% for those two stats, which is cool. Instant Strike is dope. Do we know the percentage it went up by?
I do
because
not.
normally it was a 5% chance on each crit
Right.
rock, but I don't know it. I'm assuming it went up either like 7% to 7% or 10%. It's 10% Deimos. That's amazing. So my calculations were spot on that I posted last night. Then that's awesome. Dope. 10% on every crit. So essentially, if you have a 50% crit rate, 5% total attacks are going to be instant strike, which is awesome.
Yeah.
This is a concept you kind of see in other games under the guise of like brutal critical, right? It's like a critical on top of a critical.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, it's
man.
good, but now it's even better.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I love that. That's such a cool concept. Like, yes, give me double crits. Yes, please.
Awesome. And, and she has the capacity to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about her crit package later because that is how I would build her. She has some very, very strong claw boosting skill. Two-handed claw being one of them. You're only going to equip with one claw anyways. So there's 20% physical damage right there. Another 10% crit rate, which is in 5,000. Great skill for her, considering this is how you're going to build her regardless. Claw boost, phenomenal. Just an easy 10% boost. Mega boost, 30% damage, 2,000 cap. I mean, the crit damage is okay. We try to build for capping weight damage in the first place, but if you're not, it's great anyways. It'll help, really help with those crits on Goddess Kiss if you feel like building her that way as well. Ultimate boost 2, sweet, awesome. And Downward Spirit we've been seeing on a lot of units lately, and I really like that they're doing this. It's essentially like a mini From Zero, but it doesn't nuke your MP, and you gain a skill damage buff afterwards. So if you survive a lethal hit, it's essentially Determination, bang, 50% HP back, and you get a skill damage boost, which is, I mean, we've seen this on Shift Medine. I believe Roy as well has it. I think Ed might have it too. I don't know, but fantastic skill to have on any of these units coming out. It's just like it's more like a power creep type of thing because it's just really useful. Key alignment, status down, effect recovery time. This I assume means those like strength, mind, defense, intelligence debuffs.
Because it's status down, not
status down,
ailment.
and not like ailment.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Weird wording.
First time we've ever seen it, so that's interesting. Definitely useful in arena for sure. As to MP or like MP bosses or story bosses that you usually don't see too much of it anyways, but it can probably help, and we might see it more use in PvE eventually, but definitely PvP. Burden Stance is pretty dope. I do believe so. It's crit rate and damage cap of physical attacks and special increase on combo hit count. I believe it's kind of like Shift Goros thing where it's incrementally increased,
And
which
not like,
is totally fine.
not like combo master
not like,
where it's binary.
Right. It's not like at 100 you finally get these, right? So it's which is huge because another 10% crit rate and 3,000 damage cap at 100 hits. That's awesome to have it just innate. Just like if you get that high, sure. We'll give you 10% more crit and 3,000 cap. Grapple Claw is thumb strong. It's just a flat strength 40% boost.
No big deal.
No big deal. And then another 12,000.
12K.
Just because here's another 12K damage cap. And again, with her trait, she has another 12K in there with 75% physical attack damage for one weapon. So like, she's very strongly boosted. Now, how would I build her? And what we've discussed, if you want her to sustain her own MP, you would run like a WAP or a Honey Elixir on her with Goddess Kiss, which I mean, not everyone has, sure, but you're gonna either want a support unit with skill with SCT recovery, so maybe Glass Record again, or someone else with WAP, or run Spirit Breath on her with heals. She does have auto haste innate, I believe. Yes, she does. Auto crit, which is very strong. Like, she's gonna need SCT, sure. That's your first limiter. But then after that, to maximize her damage, what she flourishes in is that crit rate. So with her two-handed claw, you're gonna get 10% crit rate here. With Verdant Stance, you might get 10% there. So let's count that last.
Up to 10%, yeah.
Up to 10%, right? So you're gonna get. Let's count her crit. When we count crit, a generic base crit rate for a unit without any other crit passives is going to be about 3 to 5%. So we'll count at the low end at 3%. Some can be lower than that, which are really just terrible units, but we'll just assume she has 3% crit. She has crit up. So I give her crit up 1, 2, and 3, which I would with any crit unit that I'm going to be using. And that's 15% crit right there. So that's going to be 18% crit. Auto crit is another 15. So we're going to go with 33% crit. Ardor is 10% at max HP. Assuming you can keep her health up, that's going to be another 10% for, 43% crit. She has Earth Crit Raise for 5%. I feel like I'm missing something. Let me just go. I said it earlier. Oh, I don't remember. But Two-Handed Claw is another 10%. So 53%? Or so is that? That's 58%. Yes, 58%. I'm literally not counting this right. I'm literally just blanking out. So 10, 10, 43.
Long story short, Icy Guardian real good.
Yeah, so we're looking at... I counted her up at 68%. I don't remember how I did that. But she has even more now if you get her paid. So let me go into the chat real quick and find this. Because from Tweacz...
It's a very interesting breakdown that shows a lot.
Let's see. Base.
I mean, it seems like she has a hard time reaching her white cap because her cap is so insanely high that this is one of the instances where crit might be necessary to maintain those caps. But as you can hear by Tweacz's addition here, you're looking at like 70-ish% crit.
Right.
Ramping
up. It's pretty nutty.
As you do combos. Barlene made a really interesting observation in that she kind of feels like a fighting game character. She kind of feels like somebody you would run into in like a Street Fighter or like a Guilty Gear kind of game. And I agree with that. Her skills combo super well into themselves and each other. So I think her S1 has a knockback on it, which, it's great that all of her skills have pursuits on them. Pursuit being like a chase, like a move to target, not a follow-up hit.
All right, I got it. You guys ready?
Yep.
Right.
Let's go.
So base 3%. We got the Crypts for 15, which is 18%. Ardor is another 10 for 28%. Auto crit's another 15. It's gonna be 43%. Earth crit rate is another 5, so it's 48%. Two-handed is going to be another 10 for 58%. And if she gets to 100 hits, it's going to be 68% crit. Well, guess what? Her paid, which I don't suggest anyone getting, but her crit itself is another 8% crit. That's 76% crit.
Wow.
What does that do for you? That means on 76% of your hits, okay? 76% of your hits, you have the ability to proc an Icy Guardian crit extra pursuit attack. What does that do for you? Booda, I don't know if you can bring it up on screen whenever you replay this, but the Icy Guardian, I mean, we've talked plenty about Icy Guardian. It adds another 48 to 52% ice crit pursuit when you crit. So like, if you hit 76 of your hits, 76% of your hits at 40 some thousand, whatever, 45,000 or so, That's going to add an extra 22,500 ice crit on every single one of those hits. That's 3/4 of your skill hits are going to be crits, and they're going to add more pursuits. That's a ton of damage potential.
It's kind of like giving her dual wield. Amazing.
It's essentially like giving her dual wield because she is such a high crit. It's incredible to just to see, and even if you don't have that 100 combo, right? She's still gonna have 66% crit, and even if you don't have her paid, it's still 58% crit. Like, she's at least gonna have, generally, in a way you
probably
should be building her, at least 50% crit. So like
half the time.
Which is
so like half of her hits are going to be crit, and half of those hits are going to hit for 1.5 times as much damage, pending enemy ice resist. Like, which can be even more or less. Like, that's how I would build her. I would build Leona, a crit package, full damage as much as you can. You don't necessarily need those advanced or those aim vitals and advanced aim vital skills because, like, she should be hitting pretty strong regardless. But if you wanted to do that, sure. She has such a high crit or high cap. If you can't reach them, sure, you can add those in. But every one of those crits is going to add pursuit damage if you use Icy Guardian. And a big chunk of your damage is coming from that. So, yeah, she's very, very exciting because she has just so much crit in her kit.
Crit in her kit?
Crit in her kit?
I like it.
100%.
Your screen's down.
She's balling, man. What? Again? Come on, man.
Yeah, I tried to tell you in chat, but you were on one.
You were on tangent.
Blah, blah, blah. I was on a little tangent there. It's my bad.
I liked Excited Tweacz.
It was like 2 minutes ago, man.
It's a good time.
It was multiple minutes ago at this point.
Well, sorry. So essentially, 76% crit is going to boost those crits by 50%, which is essentially a 38% damage boost, just because of having Icy Guardian on top of your cap. That's nuts.
Cool.
Big fan. But now you understand the reason why I'm excited for her.
Yes.
Because
yes.
Dumb. So, did you see that by chance? I know this kind of goes. I know you don't have your page, both on our page, but dude, do you see that her accessory?
The boot.
Battle start. Special gauge plus 25%.
Oh, the stream went down again.
Again, dude,
Going.
there's not even there's not even thunderstorms.
Who's doing this?
I don't know what's going on.
Well, we're back up. So, anyways,
so
my fault. So I'll talk about her paid real quick. Her paids are incredibly good. You can just mute yourself for this. Just don't even pay attention.
I'll just keep playing.
All right, so very incredibly one of the best paids some of the best paids I've ever seen. Crit rate plus 8%, which ties directly in her kit. Continuous brave effect, awesome. Physical attack damage cap plus 1,500. You don't see that. You don't see that much of a really good weapon on anyone.
They're starting to jam a lot of stuff into these paids.
Dude, so much stuff. So what we liked about Alice
is good in that the value's going up, but it's bad in that it looks bad for people who really dislike paids.
It really does. And I'll put some other stuff on to show like what I probably would be running. But like her accessory is kind of ridiculous. That battle start special gauge plus 25%. That's at every wave.
Wow.
It's not the start of the complete battle. It's at every wave that the battle start is every single time. Plus 25%. Chance for a special to do critical damage. Okay, don't really care, but whatever. Continuous speed effect. Everyone loves speed. Speedy boy. Speedy girl. So like that just means you don't have to put auto speed on her or fast speed or whatever. So that's kind of cool. So with that said, let's jump into her actual equips. Obviously, I think the best
you don't have what she's gonna want, which is the new claw, which is just flat 8% earth damage.
Okay, well I have this, so I'm gonna put on Undying Unifying King's Talons plus 40, which is obviously aggressive. Like that's a plus 40 Godforge item. I don't expect anyone to have this, or like most people to have this, but like this is what I would use on her. Just a straight 10%, and then like a very strong piercing technique. As for accessory, I mean, you could pretty much use whatever you want. I would probably be running Pirate's Feast on her, so I wouldn't use the Archangel's Wings of the Archangel on her. Don't know. Anything that boosts her strength or movement speed is fine. Honestly, speed kills. So like you use the Dunkel Helm, which is cool. If you have that from the other events, you could definitely use This guy, the Magisteel piece, if you had it from the slime event last year, that's going to work well. Or probably my pick would be speed shoes because
More
speed.
boots.
Speed.
More speed.
But yeah, that's what I would be using. As for the other claws, I mean, you don't really need much. This is probably one of the better AERs to use just because it's flat 15% skill damage. Even though it's fire, like if you're going for Goddess Kiss procs, you probably wouldn't want to use that, but there are other options. Venocleave's also very good. That plus 50% damage to poison enemies is very strong. It's multiplicative with everything else, and you can use Terror Mouth with yourself. Like if you feel like you're running this, that's another AR that's very good. I mean,
Leona of the Poisoned Fist.
Yeah, right.
Right? I mean, if you run her alongside V or Logia or an ailment spammer and get poison, like that is huge damage. Absolutely bonkers damage.
Yeah, her and V together is a nasty combo.
Yep. Very excited to use her because like I said, I've been doing stuff all day. And I got to do the new UR battle, which was cool, but I haven't been able to test her as much as I would like to. But she's awesome. From the little that I have, she's amazing.
Oh, that's good. So she's fun. She's a fun unit to play.
Fun. She's
100%.
she's fun, but she's also very good. Like
of course.
Yeah.
She is the absolute bonkers strongest unit in her very specific niche.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's
She's
not
absolutely super incredible at what she does.
not a large pool of
And only that.
competition.
So actually, you know what? I'll use the. Let's jump in here real quick. I want to.
You can maybe mold her into like a, an SCT support if you have the stuff for it, just because she's occasionally going to be getting those really, really big Goddess Kiss procs from essentially anybody.
100%.
So that might be kind of like her fallback. But she's definitely just like, she's just a destroyer. She destroys things that are weak to earth.
All right, let's see her skills real quick because I know her S1's a dash. Yep,
They're all dashes.
Line of sight. This is gonna be a line. This is gonna be a line of sight as well.
Yep.
And then we're gonna go. Okay, let me just run up to the corner real quick. Hold up, homie. And then see this one. Yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit close, right?
wow.
So that makes sense. But like that was dope.
So her S1 and S2 are direct line of sight, and her S3 is radial. So you don't have to be like straight on point with the S3 to make it go off. But they are all relatively short range. She does not have any like full area jumps. All of them require repositioning. That said, they're all super crazy good and fun.
Yeah, dude. But that's another reason because they're a line of sight. You do want speed.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna do this. Okay, let's go with that.
Uh-oh.
Has died.
Oh my god, again.
This is a record for sure.
This is a new record, huh? Yeah. I don't know
Something's
why.
going on.
It's not like I'm getting notifications or anything. No one wants to talk. Whatever. All right, so we're back. I just theo'd, so we're gonna see. I don't have any like slayers on her. I'm just doing whatever. So let's see it.
Jeez. Goodness gracious.
Okay, that was pretty effective.
You should mess with her S1 and S2 just to see how they combo into each other.
Ooh, do they?
S1 pushes them back just far enough to re-engage with S1 or S2 or S3. So you lead in. My only problem with it is her S1 does take a little bit of time. It's kind of like Dante's. It's faster than Dante's, but it definitely has like, momentum that it has to get built up.
Right.
So if you're fighting units that are very likely to flinch you, or in a place where there's a ton of like magic going on, you are often disrupted on that S1.
Yeah, something's going on.
I'm so sorry, Booda.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
I don't know. Things happen.
Okay. All right. Well, let's
But if
let me take this off of her.
But Discord said no.
No, say no. Sure. Whatever, doesn't matter. All right, so I'm gonna put them weak.
Tee.
Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Hold on a second. I have an idea. Let's give her more damage. How about that? I don't think she was capping anyways, but
no, her hits were in the like 30 to 40k range.
Yeah,
which is
not
crazy, but it is not her cap.
Right.
Okay. Well, why can't I? Okay, let's just Those were capping anyways, but it's fine. Caramel, nope, can't do that. Sure, don't care. All right. So you're saying S1 and S2? You say? You say so?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. If you use her S1, she jumps in, does a punch combo, and then kicks and knocks them back a little bit. But it's still within range of both of her attacks.
I got skill charge and Medine's S. That was over 3 stocks of her S1. So her S1 must be about 10 SCT.
It's low.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, so hey guys, what's up?
Bring them all together.
Time to group up, boys.
Let's see this. Let's see the fighter game.
Right. So it knocks him back, and then she immediately moves on to him again.
Yeah, I can see how this looks
Mad.
satisfying.
I can. Wow, that's awesome.
It's so goofy.
Medine got the kill though.
Selfish. Selfish, Medine. How could you?
She doesn't know this isn't about her.
Pirate
That was
queen.
cool though. That was cool. Dope.
Nice.
You can obviously see
her skills feel very good, but again, that gives you the opportunity to get interrupted. Mostly on S1 because S2 is pretty quick. She moves
Makes sense.
in and then does the big Nova like we've seen on a bunch of other units S2s, and then her S3 is just insane. She turns into a literal hurricane.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
She's
And
just
you know what
like a tornado of energy.
And you know what my favorite unit was that did that
Logia.
normally? Logia,
Uh-huh.
let's go. Oh, so the feels are back, man. Let's go.
Nice.
That's Logia. This is Logia. August, July, and
Logia
August
2.0.
2020, man. I'm pumped.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Leona.
Archetype?
Exciting, but not necessary.
Exciting,
In
not
any
necessary.
way.
Definitely
For
not.
anything.
And
Definitely not
as you
necessary.
said, a very fun side character.
Yeah, hell yeah.
If anything, we should be thanking Itis that this is limited in that it makes it a real easy skip.
Amen.
Skip this.
So,
And
there's
honestly, the
two.
arc has some cool stuff on it too, and the arc is permanent, which is nice.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm very excited to have it because, just like to have things.
Sure.
Psychic Guild, SSR, cool, permanent arc. Don't need to chase it at all. Yes, Sadman, she is a fun side chick, but she's the main chick, so you watch your mouth. You watch your mouth. All right.
Yeah. Wait till you get into
As for the
story.
arc attributes, what we've seen this at level, I only have a level 9, but at level 10, these stats all go up to plus 20, and then the crit rate goes to plus 5. So, like, what is this useful for?
Well, and it gives
mean,
that
it's just-
it gives that break little effect.
It does at level 10, so
Right.
I don't have that yet.
Right.
But so what it does say, people can see on Lake's Gold Mine. I don't know if he has it there yet, and people can. I guess we could just go to the actual. Hold on. Let's just go to the actual gotcha.
The gotcha
and check
page?
it out. Yeah, the real stuff. Not probability. We want gotcha details. We want recommended. That's what we want.
Yes.
Psychic Guild. All right, let's talk about this. So these are very cool. So if the unit's all soldier, knight, sorcerer, and sniper, it's gonna have all those types, or gonna have all those boosts. Which is, sure, for if it's not any of those already, it's gonna cost you 8 SC to get that, which isn't the worst thing in the world.
It's solid for any human unit, right?
Yep.
And importantly, it makes soldier and sniper available at level
Yes.
1, like super
Yes.
early, super easy. So
Yep.
it's actually a pretty malleable arc, because like who doesn't want 5% crit rate for 2 SC?
Sure.
Yes, and a stackable 5%, right?
Who doesn't want that?
What it does give, though, on skill wise, it does say break value plus 50%. So that's going to go up to a maximum of plus 150 if you have your 3 other units or your 2 units in a support that don't share any types with it. But that also means if you want to max this arc out, you're going to have to have soldier, knight, sorcerer, and sniper like mimicry on you if you're not any of those already, as well as having no other units be any of those types. So like that encompasses like a lot of really good units.
Yeah.
But you can get around it. That's not an issue. If you really want to use this
for, though, you know where you put this, because I can think of it, because it's
Okay.
Merity, right? Or like Zayx or any break unit.
Yes, 100%.
And then 3 Luxeuses with his UR. and they do 1 attack, and the entire break bar is gone.
Right.
Yes, 100%.
We got to do that.
Okay.
We will. Maybe not right now, but we will.
Not right this second. No. But we gotta make that
But yeah,
happen.
so what you were talking about is, it does give you two of the mimicries that we haven't had before. We already have Night Slayer that's on Hagiopolis, Abaddon, and then Sorcerer Slayer, which is unfortunately the most limited one because that was only on the Maiden's Banquet arc from Valentine's.
Sorcerer Mimicry?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said Slayer.
What did I say? Oh, Sorcerer Mimicry. My bad. Saying
Yeah,
Slayer.
no worries.
But yeah, so that's kind of the most limited one to get the full effect, and that's what plus 20 int, which I mean isn't really. If you're going to be running this on a unit, you don't really need that on a physical DPS at least, pending their multipliers. But Ale Glory's cool, Closed Booth cool. The coolest one is in my mind, Savage Strike, which we don't have the numbers for that yet. For what the
I have seen
accuracy
the
is.
numbers. It is
Ooh,
20%.
tell me.
So
That's it.
You lose 20% accuracy. So one
That's
in
it.
5 hits misses, but all of the other
you
5
have
or the other
80%
4
hit.
do. Yeah, 50% more damage.
So
that's great.
it's essentially a 20% boost of damage. If you're not counting.
Is that what it comes out to?
Yep. 0.8 times 1.5 is 1.2, which is 1.2 versus 20% damage, which is cool. But I mean, if you're not capping already, then there's other stuff to use. But this just is another stackable physical damage boost. So very cool to have another one. It does cost 9, which is reasonable because it is. I mean, it's pretty darn strong, to be fair.
It's Sharp Eyes Light.
Yeah.
No MP cost, but you give up like 1 hit instead.
Yeah. So like, I mean,
One
if
hit
you're
per
hitting
5,
with,
I guess.
if you're hitting with, it doesn't cost MP. That's a big thing too.
It doesn't cost MP.
Right.
It doesn't cost life either, because the other
Doesn't
stuff
cost life,
that does
doesn't
that,
cost MP.
costs life.
All right, it's a straight 20% damage boost. Like that's if you're not capping. It's kind of dope. First time we've seen Doppelhander on anything. That's teachable, so that's very nice to have, especially since we've gotten a lot of two-handed skills. This was obviously screw my down. This is obviously was only on select units, but now that we have this, you can make other units viable. Like, I mean, a little bit better, like a BB Shin or a Kyle that you want a single wheel, right? So, which I wouldn't suggest it, but it's at least something to boost their damage.
Sure.
And crit rate and attack damage. So, like, that's cool.
And I mean, the reality of the situation is not everybody's even going to have dual wield.
Right.
Like, we talk about dual wield like it is just an innate, like, everybody has dual wield because you should re-roll for it. But, like, not everybody knows that.
Right.
Right. And so some people are not going to start with it.
Yep.
And then RN Jesus is just going to say, oh, no, not in this house. And they're just not going to get that.
Right.
So
have it,
just
right?
to have other options, even if they're not 1-to-1 on par, having other options for dual wield, which is still only on one arc, is a good thing. It's a great thing.
Yep. I agree. I think that's especially since they bumped it up from 2,000 to 5,000 damage now. I think that was a big improvement for 12 SC. For people that are literally just playing the game and like don't have, and even for like the OG units that have only 9,999 cap that haven't been buffed yet, or they don't have them at enhanced 5 yet. Like,
imagine playing this game for fun.
but they have an option to jump that 9,999 up to 14,999 with one skill.
Sure.
Like that's really cool.
That is 50% potential bonus, like potential damage.
Way better than the original.
Absolutely
20%.
insane.
Yep.
It really lets you bring older units up to parity with some of the newer units.
Yeah, man. I mean, yes. Just leave it at that. Yes. So Arcade reward. Big ol' HP though.
It is.
Big ol'
1,000 HP is a fat stack. That's HP plus 2.
Fat stack. That's multiplied into all of your other HP ups. Like that's crazy. Recover HP when HP reaches 70% or lower twice per wave. I don't know how much HP that is at all, but I don't know the numbers behind that. I haven't tested it, so can't really talk onto it. But it's not an unusable AER, which is great. We always need for those like harder hitting, especially the new quests. Like you want a good amount of HP. So this is really nice to see that they're introducing even higher and higher HP items.
I think S. Kyle loves this because his barrier procs off of his max health. So, like, if you're In fact, this might have some use in counteracting. I'm not saying this is the Roy fix at all, but this might have some use in that. If you get 2 procs of it, like, okay, 70% health, heal, 70% health, heal, hit 1 health, determination,
From 0.
awaken, heal, from 0, heal. Like, you might live through 1 Roy
Might.
S3 with all of those. Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Only one way to find out. Also, put the wreath on there for the extra heal, and then decoy, because let's face it, after you survive that first one, he's just gonna do it again.
There's another one incoming. Exactly.
Oh, Roy.
It's already on the way. It's already on the way. He already shipped it.
Yep, 100%.
I'm scarred by my arena log and all of my defense losses that I get, and
Okay, man.
all I
that
see,
was all last season.
all I see is Roy. All I see is Roy, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's what it is.
that's it.
And it's it's whatever. Just it's fine.
Just go with it.
It's disgusting and wrong. You just got to embrace it.
Where would you like to go next?
Do you want to talk about what you've been having fun with all day?
Yes,
And
we can do that.
because it introduced quite an exciting little thing for
It
us.
did. So, what they introduced with us today. So we got the whole new map. You can switch from between Grand Zelia and Grandar, which I haven't even done enough for.
You don't even know the name.
I haven't even done one. I think I did the first quest, and that's it. Like, I haven't
It's
even
pretty
done
good.
anything.
I'm very pleased with the story.
And I'm excited to go see that later. But
There were things that I 100% did not expect, and there was a lot more like on the map
Yep.
than I expected. It was very cool. I think you're gonna enjoy it, Tweacz.
Nice. I'm excited. As to what's new, so right here, which it will say new for pretty much everybody. If you haven't,
Most
if you
people.
if you haven't done it twice, then this will say new. But it's at the Ancient Treasury Museum in the Adon continent over here. And it will be at the top for most people, but since I've done it twice already and completed it, it's called the Occulted God of Old. This is a new. Down at the bottom here, this is the newest side quest that or the new boss / side quest that they've added to the game.
And it's a new type of side quest.
And you remember like the whole second anniversary, they added like a ton of stuff, ton of side quests and boss hits. But this is the newest one. So what this is there's 3 separate battles that you have to take on in a row. First team, second team, and third team all take on different battles. You have to beat each one in order to progress to the next one, and they're not that easy. You need to build bulky units, you need to have well-built units, you need to have good damage, good mitigation, good heals. It's just a well-rounded battle for endgame accounts even. You really don't have because you can't bring friend units, you really don't have a shot on this until you actually build up your account. But once you do, and there will be guides out by the time a lot of people like attempt this that are probably watching this, or like
Rithik.
at least getting some information from people who have completed it.
Yeah,
But
Forrest has a little quick rough and dirty guide in our LC
nice.
info.
I think we could probably add some to that because it's like there are some niche things that we've all come across and that we've found has worked, right? Because that's what happens when new stuff comes out. We try to figure it out ourselves, and then if we can't figure it out or we have figured something out, we go to Discord and we talk to other people and throw bounce ideas off a wall and
There's
get other
for sure stuff we're still missing.
Yes, all 100%. But we're pretty close. I think I posted my video about my little speedrun of it about an hour ago, an hour and a half ago. So if anyone wants to watch it, it's up on my channel. It's great. I mean, it's great. That's obviously subjective, but I thought it was so much fun to make. I had a great time making it. I had a great time. This was the only thing I did today because I just didn't have much time to do like story and stuff. And I just wanted, once I got into this earlier today, I was like, all right, well, this is what I'm doing today. So
this is it, homie.
As you can see, this is my lineup right now. Obviously, I don't really want to explain it, but there's 3 different, and I'm not going to fight the battle to go through because it takes, at the minimum, with all the time stop and like me going through menus and picking things to do and doing all the damage in battles, it's going to take like 10 minutes, so we're not doing that. But these are the teams I used. It's essentially you fight 1 boss, 2 boss, and 3 boss, beat it all, and you get this cool little thing. Once you beat it, which I'll show here, once you beat it, oh well, it didn't
No,
show
you
anything.
won't.
That there's another 950 gems you get it for the second time, but once you beat that, you get
What do you get?
wait for it,
What do you get?
a free UR arc.
UR
You get this is the second free UR arc that we've
This is
had. The
very
first one
hype.
being Guardians, that you get from clearing all the other boss quests. But this is like one of those. This is essentially like the Arc 1 final boss, right? This is like in the Arc 1, like the whole Grand Zelia part. This is like the final battle of the whole area, pretty much.
Mhm. So
again, don't expect to just roll into this and like with half-ass built units and then just try to win. It's not very easy, and if you do that, you're gonna need a lot of revives and all this kind of stuff. So what you do get when you finish that is Vaz, Occulted God.
Mm-hmm.
It took me about 5 or 6 tries. It took me a couple tries to figure out the first battle, right? It took me a couple tries to figure out the second battle. And then the first time that I did the last battle, I beat it. It took me like half an hour.
Yeah, because there's like just no damage.
Because I was doing like no damage, but I was there. I was there for it. And SM Theria was keeping everybody up, never even came in danger of dying or being out of MP.
Right.
Still goated. But no, it literally took me like, and I did all of it on stream this morning.
Nice.
I just sat there and just bashed my head into it over and over and over until it died.
That's great.
It was not quick. It was not clean. It was not pretty, but it worked.
I respect it. I respect that.
Yeah. It was good stuff. That was the very last thing that I did. I did everything else in the update, and then I swung around and did that very last. Beautiful.
That's awesome. Damus is yelling at me if he doesn't get a shout out. Him and I were talking specifically in our chat, Crypt, about like strategies for this. So
yeah, I saw there were 147 messages.
Yeah, dude, we were discussing it heavy.
I was asleep.
We were discussing it heavy. So yes, it was a lot of fun to talk about. Like I said in my video, I kind of just was away from Discord all day, and I wanted to do this by myself, right? It was like a personal goal. So I figured it out. I did all the requirements, which was awesome. The no death felt so good to do.
Mm-hmm.
Along with that, I got the under 7 minutes. But then it came to coming back to Discord and how do we make this better? How do we because that's always the thing I had to do. How can I beat this into the ground? So
what are the intended mechanics?
we did that.
Okay, how can we do it better than that?
Found out some better ways to run the battles, and a little bit of the min maxing. What to take off, what's not needed, all that kind of stuff. So I found out it's very cool battle. You have to use built units, 3 different teams. You can't just Tower. You can't just set up 3 teams then only use one the entire time. You have to use all 3. But what you get is this UR, which we're on to now. This UR is actually pretty good. Very strong strength, very strong defense. It is no joke in the arc attributes. So, which is essentially, it says when physically attacking, damage plus 40% if not hitting a weak attribute, and critical hits or killer slayer effects do not activate. So, what does this do? This essentially boosts your damage by 40% if you have literally nothing going for you.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just a white hit.
If you don't have any slayers,
only a white hit.
if you don't have any slayers, if you don't have any crits, if you don't have any weakness attributes, it's just
here's 40% damage.
Shoot, I'm not doing too much damage, but here's an extra 40%, which is actually pretty darn strong. 5 seconds after battle start, remove any strength, defense, into mind debuffs from the unit. Exclude some debuffs. So what does that do? Well, when a boss inflicts you, or when a enemy PvP unit inflicts you with those debuffs,
AKA again.
Also, there's an echo crypt.
Not me.
Oh, well, it might be Booda this time. So, yes, it was. There it is. Nope, there it is again. Anyways, it deletes those after 5 seconds, which is very cool. That's the first time we've seen that. Not only that, is it gives at level 10, it gives neutral attack damage plus 2,000, which we've never seen before.
Which it's worth noting, neutral attacks cannot get a weak attribute thing on it. So this is incredible for Baron.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably Baron's new best in slot arc, in my opinion.
Yep. Drop his crits, drop his slayers, just have everything just hit 40% extra.
Yeah, just straight up 40% white damage all the time.
Awesome. Really strong stats again. But what do we see on the York especially? We have 2 new skills that we've never seen on anything else before.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't even go over everything, but skill 2 boost is another one of its kind. We just saw skill 1 boost on the Raining Arc from the other collab.
Right.
But this is the first time we've had skill 2 boost.
Stream's down.
Stream down. Bye. Heard it this time.
Tweacz is done.
This is like at least 8 times already.
This is crazy.
So we're back though. Don't worry about it. Skill 2 boost. Same thing as skill 1 minus 10% SCT and then plus 20% damage. If you have a really strong skill 2, that's just pure real estate right there. But then Combo Master 2, which we have not seen yet, which stacks with Combo Master 1. 30%. You essentially gain 30% physical damage after you have already landed a 50 plus hit combo, which that counts towards your team combo, which is very, very strong if you're going to be fighting as a team. Great skills. Very pumped about that. New things on arcs, always good, and it's free. It's a free UR. Once you can beat it, right? It's a little bit locked behind, being an endgame account, but once you get there, you get this stuff, and that's a really nice bonus.
Yep.
And you can't use a friend to carry you. You can't be supported through this. You literally have to do it yourself.
You shall.
And this is going to be a very difficult fight for a lot of people.
Yes.
Most people are probably never going to complete this. It's definitely something to work toward, and it's definitely something that if you put in the time and give it the effort and understand the mechanics of it, like you'll be able to get there. But this is certainly the most in-game thing that exists now.
Oh, stream down. And
let's call it strike number 10.
Yeah. Double digits.
How many strikes do I get?
You have unlimited.
I completely agree with you, dude. Like, this is, regardless of how your account is at the moment, like, and if you haven't beaten this is always something to work towards. Because the most exciting thing when I came and I looked at that battle, I was like, we can't use friend supports. I'm just like, you mean people actually have to like build for this stuff? I'm like, that's so exciting because that gives everyone something to build towards.
Right.
Because you can't cheese it with like Sport M30 or Sport Luxaeus. Like, you just can't.
Yep.
So very, very exciting. Great content. Really, really cool that they gave I mean, it deservedly so. You should be getting a good reward for doing this.
Sure.
Because the Guardians and yes, you have to use your own stuff, but like this is actually a difficult battle. I don't think I lost per se, but like again, like you, Krypt, running into the first time I ran through the third battle, I was just like, okay, I'm doing peanuts for damage. I'm just quitting. Like, I'm not sitting here and doing this.
No, see, and I know I'm a more patient person than you. We've played a lot of multiplayer together, and there are times where like we would run into something, and Tweacz would be like, "Nah, fuck this, I'm out," and he would just like dip. If like we get down to one unit being alive, or just something, something where it's gonna take a significantly longer time, and I'm like, nah, homie, I'm chilling. I'm finishing.
Right.
I started this. I'm finishing this.
Really funny.
Well, I'm excited to get into it. I'm about to test out if beating all of hard mode in that area unlocks it, because I know we were trying to figure out. We don't exactly know what is needed before this quest is unlocked, because some people are reporting they thought you needed the monster manners completed, but others have had it pop up without having the monster manners completed. And I noticed that I don't have all of the hard modes finished in this area done, so I'm working on that. So hopefully I'll confirm that by the time we're wrapping up.
That could be it.
Maybe.
All right. So do you want to find out what the Arc Ether reward is?
Yes. Let's please.
Do you know it? Do you know what it is, Booda?
Think I do.
Okay, well, regardless, that doesn't a surprise, but it's
very
strong.
I don't.
Very strong.
What was I looking at? I was looking at something different.
Dude, Equilibrium Sphere, regardless, 100 strength, and then all light, dark, and no attribute physical attack damage are all 15%.
That's actually
15%
insane.
damage.
That's insane.
That is extremely strong.
Oh my god.
On an accessory, as well as having 10 resist for both light and dark, as well as having a blind and a curse resist. One of the best accessories in the game by far.
Holy shit.
Right?
Well, like we just got Globulus, or however you say it, Globulus from and that's Globus, whatever.
15%.
15% to dark.
Stack those together. It's fine. It's fine, dude. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, dude.
Wow. Well, that's exciting. Props.
I'm a little bit sad it's not
free.
I'm a little bit sad it's only physical, so you can't slap that on like Lily. That would have been really nice, but yeah, this thing is like true UR
status.
AER level.
Absolutely.
It seems
Strong.
like
and beyond.
It seems true. Well, maybe not.
I mean, it's no attribute too.
It's-
Like shit.
it's pretty much-
it's not just light and dark.
It's
crazy.
the no attribute UR, except it maybe like it has 2,000 cap instead of 3,000 cap, but it's pretty much at UR level, I would say.
Absolutely.
100%. For everything, attribute, skills that you can get from it, AER, it's pretty top
This
tier.
is the most. This is about as close as we can get to like a pure
And-
gotcha-esque.
Yes,
UR.
and
For free.
The artwork
The
is
only
insane.
thing it doesn't have
Really
that the
are
other
inspiring.
URs have is a skill.
Oh, you're
Why?
right. You're right.
Guardians
Yes.
and
Yes.
Vaughn, what's it called? I can't.
Voss.
Boss.
Vaz. They don't have skills.
Art, dude.
So that's the only thing where it's really lacking.
It is very
But
plain.
everything else about it is so premium.
Top tier.
No attribute wall. That's actually the first time we've seen that as well.
Oh
I don't
yes,
believe
you're
that's
right. You're
available.
right. I'm thinking of because it's on Nympharia, but yeah, you're right. That's the first time we've had this.
And I believe she has no attribute wall too.
No, she has no attribute wall one.
It is
unfortunately.
one.
That's the only one that's one.
Oh, are all the other ones too? And then that one's one?
Yep.
Yes.
Surprisingly, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, there's a SM Theria
Wait.
exclusive skill that you can now slap on other people, which is
Crazy.
super dope.
You know what I would have loved, and I'm absolutely like pushing the what's the phrase? Pushing the something.
Pushing the envelope.
I'm absolutely pushing the envelope with this one, but it's just, like it has special boost, which okay, but like if you're getting to the point where you are beating these challenges, you have special boost unlocked already.
Special boost seems like a really weird thing to put on there too, because
but-
it's so contrary to the rest of how it works.
I think it's just like
If special boost is
God.
activating,
But imagine-
you are not getting the bonus 40% damage from the thing.
But hear me out on this one. Special boost 2,
dude.
so that it gives
Don't.
That would have
it
been
gives
sick
it
and
gives
ridiculous.
listen gives more physical damage and cap against Slayer enemies.
Can you imagine? Yeah, essentially
That would
just
be cool. Yeah.
50%. Yeah, that would actually be really cool. So 50%
Kind of
damage
like
as
the,
well, and then like
kinda
I
like-
don't know, like 2,000 cap or something.
right, like the mega boosts, but a Slayer equivalent.
So special mega boost.
Special mega boost.
Or
That would've
mega
been-
special boost.
That would have been so sick. But hey, like I said, pushing the envelope. Everything. I'm like, this is a wonderful thing they added to the game. So
Yep, absolutely.
100%.
love it. Love
For
it.
free.
For completely free.
And
For
I-
free.
And this
I
one,
feel like
yeah.
every time they've done this, every time they've given us like Guardians or Game Master or Voss now or Zluorg even, like nobody uses him, but it's really, really cool.
Bro, I'm gonna
be
need a
able to-
counter on this.
This is wild.
insane. We're gonna have a counter next time. But it feels so good to be able to earn those things, to go out
Yeah.
there with the units you built, and okay, my reward is a tangible. It's a unit. I get a unit that I can play with and build or whatever. I get an arc that I can now use in different content. I get new skills that I have, and it's so nice to see. And it's the direct counter to all of the limited stuff coming
Right.
out, right?
Crazy.
It's the opposite of that.
Sure.
It's always available. You can just earn it anytime. You don't have to roll for it. You just got to do it. So if we're on the seesaw at this point, I think we've reached some kind of like maybe equivalence, but
Sure.
there's definitely things they can still improve vastly. I'm not defending the bad parts of this game. I'm just saying there's some really nice little gems
They
in
did.
there too.
They did.
There for sure are.
I was extremely critical of
Yeah.
like the day before the patch. In case anybody didn't see it,
Oh yeah, we kind of went in like
I spent like an hour making just
Yeah,
the
dude.
most disparaging memes I could think of.
Yeah.
and then,
It
you know
was
that.
incredible.
Yeah, but Crypt. I mean, I don't know if Booda backlogged that, but like that was a very important. That's very important to do every once in a while because like we need to voice our concerns.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And
You
it
know
was
what?
enough.
It's not heard enough to just like putting in dev feedback. It's just not heard enough. Having an actual conversation about it needed to be had.
It was
which
enough
was nice.
that Barleen, like initially, was a little bit defensive about it.
Right.
Like his first response was definitely a little bit defensive, and then we were all like, "Well, listen, like this isn't about you. Like this isn't a personal thing. Like we have no problem with you. We love what you do for the community.
Yes,
you are, one of the best things about the Discord is that we've got that direct link to you guys, and we appreciate what you do. But this is a sentiment that's been growing for a long time.
Yeah.
Like this is shit that people have been feeling for a while." And he even came out and he was like, "I don't like it either." He was like, I literally do know, like, I understand how upset everyone is with the schedule. And I think it was definitely, there were some extreme reactions on both sides, but I think it led to a very productive conversation.
It did. It did towards the end, for sure.
Where it ended up was so much better than where it started. And sometimes you just got to do that.
Yep.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I spent an hour just shit posting memes, just back to back.
Dude, they were good,
back
though.
To back.
If anyone's in the main Discord, we have a thread that holds all
It
of the
was
memes
pretty
you made.
amazing.
It's so good.
And it was like the first one. It was like, oh yeah, itis after 12 limited back to back or whatever. And then by the end, it was like after 16 limited back to back. It just continuously got worse and worse.
So,
Yeah.
I don't regret it at all.
No. It was
I don't
very
regret a
entertaining.
single second
It was
of it.
it was very therapeutic to read through all of that. So thank you, Crypt.
mhm.
Yeah, I've spoken enough
I
on
figured
that.
you'd like that.
Yeah, I got my sentiments out, I think, in full. But
So funny.
I can confirm that doing hard mode in that node in the map does not unlock that battle. So I've yet to
unfortunately.
discover. Unfortunately, I cannot take on that challenge yet, but I really
What
want
else
that
haven't you done from Arc 1?
I haven't beaten all of hard mode story, clearly,
Well,
and I have not beaten all of the current world bosses. So there is still quite a bit for me to do in Grand
yeah,
Zalia.
that might be it.
Mhm.
Defeating all of the world bosses, and then this is your like final world boss. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because it's definitely a tier above, I think, all of the other ones.
Oh, definitely.
From what I'm hearing,
100%.
I haven't seen
And
it.
I mean, it requires, so the logistics of going into a fight with 3 units or 4 units is much different than 12. We use the same accessories so often. We have this very this
Yes.
is best in slot for every PDPS, and we stick with that because we only have to build 3 units at a time. But now you have to equip 12 units. Like, you really have to utilize many more things than we have seen in the past. The closest we have to this is the tower.
Right.
Yep.
And even tower, you can do with one team. You can do it entirely with one team with no arcs and no tower gear or whatever. But this really does require a depth to an account, because up until now it's been like, oh yeah, just build out one team, you're probably good. Like you can build teams that'll clear everything. Get Baran, congratulations, you beat the game. That's no longer the case. You can no longer carry entirely with friends and solo units.
Right.
Which is
True
awesome.
in-game content.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's cool.
I love that it
Mechanics.
it
Surprise.
creates maybe not players have goals, but it creates goals for players to reach, right?
Yeah.
Like just where your account should be or where you should build towards to be able to clear content like this.
And that seems like the right direction to go for more end game content, is utilizing all of these characters, whereas in the beginning, character investment takes so long that for a new player, having dual wield, having Trishula to mainstream and streamline your progression process with one DPS focus is the way to
Right.
go. And the problem is that even in end game, that's typically been able to be a carry for all levels of gamers. You could just build one team and you can do everything. But this is the first introduction to something that literally forces you to now utilize 12 characters, all different equipment sets. So like you're saying, you're forced to
And that took
customize.
forever to do, by the way. I mean, for people who have fought, that took forever. Just like making those small decisions, like, okay, team 1, go in, fight the boss. What am I supposed to do here? Like, figuring out the
And
first thing. And then I'm like, oh, okay,
and
I
you
can
can't-
I can
Sorry.
beat this now. I can beat this now, and then go to the second boss. What do I do here? Like, I gotta find 4 more units to figure out and like figure out the mechanics and all this kind of stuff. So like, yeah, it's
And you can't just
amazing.
skip straight to that second fight. You have to do the first fight
Yeah.
every time
Yeah.
you want to
Which-
test that
yeah.
second fight. And then
Yeah, man.
every time you want to do the third fight, you have to do the first fight and the second fight. There was actually some complaining about that, but I'm not
Oh
going
my
to
God.
touch on that because it doesn't warrant discussion.
I mean, it makes
Um,
sense because it's you're forced. It's breaking the mold, and it's inconvenient, especially for people who maybe like barely scraped by that first. They got real lucky and got through
That's
one.
why you got
Right.
to hone it down.
But that's
why
why
you
you gotta
gotta
hone
hone
it
it
down, right? That's
The first
Yeah.
time it took 5 minutes.
It
The
took-
second time it took 2 minutes.
Yes.
The third time it took 45 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
That-
that's how it should go.
like, what can I
people-
improve? Yep, exactly.
a lot of us, and I mean, I've certainly felt this sentiment in the past. Like, I don't want to mess with stuff. I want my units to be good. I want my builds to be good enough.
Right.
You know. But that's not the heart and soul of this game. The heart and soul of this game really is getting in there, getting under the hood, tinkering around. I do wish we had presets for characters.
I do
like
as well.
quick panels for
Bro,
okay,
I
this is my PvE build for
switch stuff
world
around way
bosses
too much for
or farming or whatever.
Tweacz thinks we're pansies.
I feel like that's one of the big fucking quality of life
Maybe.
increases that we could
I
get.
do.
Maybe,
Because
maybe I'd like it if I could have it, but I just feel like my presets would get so out of date so quickly.
maybe, but
And
here's
I
the
had-
thing,
and then,
Tweacz.
and then it would just be like annoying to change all of my presets.
Maybe, but I think even if you had a preset that was similar to something that you want to do rather than switch out everything, you then can start at 80% of what you already want and then switch out.
Right.
the-
So,
you know?
like, I don't want to have to mess up my multiplayer build just because I want to work on a specific world boss.
Oh, that's fair. I agree with that. 'cause
Right.
I have a
So you
specific
have-
like Roy build that it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I gotta do all this shit over again.
100%. So it's like Roy build multiplayer, and the only thing you switch is your Slayer. So it goes from switching one skill to switching literally the entire build that you have to make for this specific boss fight that you want to speed run or test on or whatever.
Yeah, when I asked you, Tweacz, if you wanted presets earlier when you were switching, I was referring to switching back, not like saving presets for the builds that you had just made. Presets would have been nice to
no.
go backward.
No, I understand.
Right.
I understand what
Oh,
you
okay.
meant. You're saying,
Okay.
but like, I don't know.
I just think it would be a nice little thing. It's certainly not like a focus. It's not
Oh,
like if,
yeah,
if
I
you don't
would
do
never-
this, I'm quitting the game.
No, no,
Right.
no, no.
I would never say no to it. I'm just saying like I would have to use it to see its value
Yeah.
because I just
Yeah.
set in my ways. What are you gonna do?
Hey, old man Tweacz,
Oh man. Hey man, come on.
Get off my lawn.
get off my lawn.
Um,
So, I mean,
I mean,
I think
Crypt.
Oh, Crypt.
you did. We can talk about Tower a little bit because you did Tower. I don't want you to do any spoils, but how were the new 10 floors?
Nah, not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too
The
bad.
timers on several of them are much lower, like 3-minute timers on a couple floors.
Interesting.
Which I think I ran out of time like one time on one of them because I
Just
didn't
weren't
have.
prepared.
Yeah, I just didn't have units that did any damage. They happened to be really, really, really resistant to everything except like, they were really resistant to dark, and Lug was one of my main DPS. Let's just put it that way. So I certainly like ran into spots where I needed to switch some stuff up a little bit, but overall not bad. You'll breeze through it once you get there.
Nice.
The rewards are kind of garbage. I'm not gonna lie. It's
So
like,
nothing special at 90, just that rainbow mega cluster I saw.
yeah. So there's one each rainbow or one each mega clusters and tower medals, and then like some weapon stones and stuff like that. But it's honestly the rewards from 80 to 90 were extremely disappointing.
Yeah. Tower was
the
another,
medals are probably the best thing.
Towers were another bit of a sour point for me with this update. When I
Yeah.
noticed what was going on,
Yeah, no floor skip, which they said we would probably get a floor skip, and we did not get
Eventually.
that.
Right. Did anyone notice the new, I'm sure you have, the new, like, loading animations for battles?
I didn't.
There's
Bro.
also a new download screen for updates.
Bro,
I'm in battle right now.
look at this. So, I mean, you just go, so normally it would do the whole, like, on boss waves especially, it would do like the whole warning thing, and it'd be all black, and then it'd like phase into your battle. But it starts before that now. It's quicker.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. So the screen doesn't go solid black, and then warning pops up, and it's like wah wah wah.
Yeah, right.
Instead,
For sure, quicker.
like translucent, and it starts loading in as the warning thing pops up. But yeah, they definitely they sped up a lot of the animations.
Oh, it's
So
quicker.
that's
I can
the-
tell you from my personal testing, it's quicker.
So
Just throwing that
that's
out
part of the QOL Barlene was talking about.
there. Oh, that's big time.
Okay.
and that'll make
Well,
our turnover on grinding faster.
I was gonna say, what's
yes.
the
Yes, it
what's
does.
what is the return of time on that?
I have to time it specifically, but it's definitely faster.
Okay.
Just
it's probably
from
a
hand
second or two per run,
okay.
which over the course of tens of thousands of runs is quite a lot.
Here's
of
my
time.
question: does it save on data leaking?
Probably not.
I mean, who knows if it's worse, dude?
It's worse.
Come on.
I feel like,
kill me.
and this is some total armchair developer stuff here. I
Yep.
feel like a lot of their memory leak
memory
problem is to
leak.
do with
That's
how
what
they
it's
handle damage numbers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because you remember, way a long time ago, the memory leak was because
Okay. Okay.
any
Shit down.
damage, any damage that you did over the enemy's health was just dumped into the void,
Mm-hmm.
and so you would have this just compoundingly huge number building up in the background, and that was part of what made it so bad
Yep.
early on.
Yep.
And it's gone.
Yeah, I got a little lesson on that from Panda.
Yeah, it's great. It's phenomenal.
Right.
What a
So-
fun time.
Very professional.
So. Well,
Booda, I'm just gonna like throw this out there. I expect a counter on your VOD of this when you post it on YouTube to see how many times we crashed.
oh, okay.
It's gotta be a dozen.
Oh, you want me to go? You want me to
At
go the
least.
extra mile, huh?
It's gotta be a dozen. I mean, I can count it for you if you'd like, and I'll put it as a comment. But it's gotta be a dozen by now.
It would be pretty entertaining part.
Do you guys want to talk about story a little bit and seeing like what I'm not seeing here, like where we go from here? I'm not trying to spoil it, but like what's the cool side stuff that you guys have noticed?
Well, definitely.
Like there's a fishing spot.
There's a
That's
fishing spot.
From what I heard.
The
There's a
There's
fishing
new
spot.
conquer spots. I heard.
There is a new conquer spot.
Oh wow!
Ooh,
I didn't know that.
That is true.
I
That's
didn't know
exciting. Third conquer spot. There we go. 12 souls a day for a unit.
that. Okay.
There's probably, I want to say there's 4 or 5 main story nodes.
Okay.
And then there's like 2 or 3 side spots, including some really cool lore relevant places that I won't ruin.
Oh yeah,
And-
from like arcs and stuff. Yeah, I think I remember seeing
Yeah.
that. Just like a little preview.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And some of the coolest backgrounds and best music yet.
Oh,
in
For
this
sure.
game.
The music is
Definitely play with the sound on.
Yo, so here's the thing.
I turned my sound on for this.
On that note, so we were playing. I think it was a couple days ago. I was planning on the Taiwan client again, and that is a Steam client.
Mm-hmm.
But you can full screen that game, which I assume will be available whenever we get.
Our
Like, there's a little niche way to do it, right? Like you have kind of. It's not. They don't really want you to play landscape mode, but once you get to play landscape mode, the game looks effing gorgeous. So those when you're talking about like the background and all those layouts and in battle background, all that kind of stuff, dude, they look so good on a PC client landscape. It's incredible. So once we do get that, I'm gonna be very excited to just play everything on that.
beautiful. I'll be excited because I don't think we're gonna hear any
Bro.
crashing. We're not gonna get
You're-
any
you're-
crashing, and we're not gonna hear any.
I'm not even up now right now.
Notification
This
sounds.
is ridiculous. You didn't even tell. This is number 13 at least.
I don't think you need
Sweet,
to pull it up
sweet
again.
summer child. If
Oh.
you think it's going to be any better than it is now, I have bad news for you.
No. So I mean, if anything, video quality is going to go way up for you, Booda. You can now you'll be able to full screen that shit. Come on, it's going to be amazing.
It's gonna be great.
Screenshots are going to be looking lit.
But yeah, it's I love that we have an entirely new map. It's not just a reskin.
Yes.
Love that.
Although
Yeah.
I wanted story reset, it's selfish though.
That
Give me
would've
another
been nice.
100K plus.
That would have
gems.
been very generous. So that's cool. The collect like the chests and the I imagine what are the collection the bottles are now replaced
Yes.
with those icons
Ooh.
with new icons. So
Ooh.
it's a nice just
Oh,
little
man.
aesthetic
And-
touch.
And some of those have some neat little things.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Ooh.
the chests themselves look different.
Yes.
So there is a locked chest on the map that I cannot figure out how to open.
Is
I don't
there?
know if the key just doesn't exist yet or what's going on, but I literally can't get into it, and it's driving me
possible.
crazy. If anybody knows how to get the key, please tell me.
Wait, what?
What?
I mean,
There's a locked chest.
I didn't see it.
exactly. Maybe you don't know it's there yet. Maybe you haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, no, I beat all of current story.
But have you done all the side missions and everything?
I have not done the side quest. No.
Well,
Good point.
I think it's part of a side mission.
Surprise.
But I did all the side missions and everything, and like I just completed all the hard mode.
Mm-hmm.
I have completed all the objectives and everything in the new story, and I still can't open it, and I don't know why.
yep.
You're missing something.
Some mysteries still escape me.
Yeah.
Someone will figure that out, and we don't all need to beg for a guide for it.
Or it's just not in the game yet, and we just need to be patient.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just being patient is fine. Enjoying the game at your own pace is fine.
Exactly.
Right, Crypt? Right?
And
It's fine.
occasional
Absolutely.
rants. It's okay.
It's okay.
100%.
And those things, you need those every once in a while. Is to keep it balanced.
It
Right?
felt
Life is all
good.
about balance. All right?
I've
Can't
been
be all roses
listen,
and sunshine.
I've been a very positive force to the game. I feel
yes, you
for
have.
a long time.
Yes, you have.
I needed to get some stuff off my chest, and I did just that.
We will not judge you for that because it was necessary. You got to get it out, brother.
I appreciate
I mean,
it.
it's telling that it came to a peak for so many people at the same time.
Right.
It wasn't just you.
Good.
It wasn't just me. It wasn't just other community members. It was a lot of us all at the same time felt this same thing. And it's very important for them to know how, even if they're not here to take care of our feelings, what the general sentiment is. Because, like, with the lack of advertising that this game has, the only advertising they're going to get is word of mouth, and you only get good word of mouth if there is goodwill with the community.
Very true.
So,
So
things to think about.
I didn't update you guys. I did get one response from the JP
I saw.
community. You did see it.
I saw you.
I did see it
On your Twitter?
on my Twitter. I
Yeah,
got
I saw.
one response.
I actually posted that in the main Discord, and I said they
nice.
got our boy Booda so mad that he's speaking Japanese.
He did say that. I can attest. He did say that.
That's great. So
It's pretty funny.
I don't think I can really make a judgment call based on one one JP player.
But hey, at least one person interacted.
But
That's
hey,
the first
one
step.
player interacted, very polite. Said, "Hey, Buddha." They said, "Thank you for your Japanese question."
Yeah, it's so polite.
It was so great. I loved it.
Yep, Zest Laskla is the English tag. So they said, "I think the gacha below have below issue." So I'm pretty sure they also used Google Translate, just like me.
Sure.
And Zest said, "Too many limited character gacha." He said, "Guaranteed exchange needs 200 times pull." Which, 200 times pull? Is that correct?
He might be saying that it needs to come down from 300 to 200.
Yes.
Ah.
300 to 200.
Okay, so he wants that pity down.
Yeah.
And this one was interesting, I thought. Non-picked up gotcha ticket, which I assume means that tickets don't have rate up.
Right.
Right, and that is something that, again, Barlene was very supportive of. When I was like, dude, like, look at how Dragalia does it. Dragalia did so many good things. They completely reworked their gacha because their community was like, hey,
Yeah.
your gacha is poop.
Right.
Your gacha
and
is trash.
They completely revamped it.
Oh, wow.
They undiluted the pool. They added a pity. They reduced the cost. They refunded everybody a ton of one of the resources in the game. It doesn't really matter what it is.
Wow.
But no, they did a full revamp of their gacha. Probably, I want to say maybe 6 months into the game,
So it's
something like that.
6 months. That's a short
I mean-
window, but it's possible. It's possible.
For sure, and I could be off on that. It's been a very long time since I've played Dragalia. But, I can see parallels between these two games. And one of the things that Barlene said is like, well, you can't really expect things that don't exist in other gachas. And I said, what are we asking for that doesn't exist in other
Facts.
more successful gachas?
I was about to make a whole video.
Where are we?
I was about to make a
Like,
whole
what are we
video on that.
asking for that doesn't exist?
But I didn't want to I didn't want to
Yeah.
push the envelope. But yeah, I saw his comment there. And yeah, I was ready to draw out a 10-minute video going over all the gotchas that have what we're asking for. So anyway, and it's like, what are we comparing? What gotchas are you thinking of? Are they the big hitters, the big winners? Because that's where I'd like to see this game. That's where I'd like to see this game compete with the big heads.
Right.
Which obviously there are many factors that come into play with that there. But I don't know.
I like hitting for 60k plus on crits.
I bet you do.
I saw a
It's a
couple
cool
there.
number.
That was crazy.
But guess what?
Dude,
32
so...
times 2 is more than 60.
I'm gonna to be honest with you. I will achieve numbers greater than Doyle. Just so you know.
Have fun.
We will reach numbers far beyond anything, like any human
Far
comprehension.
beyond,
Listen,
Booda.
do it,
Far
man.
beyond.
Prove me wrong. Because
I mean, don't
as
prove
far
me
as
wrong. I've
I
already
see it
mathematically shown you.
through my through my meta binoculars, her damage is only as good as half of the number I see on screen. Does that make sense?
Oh Booda. Oh Booda.
I mean, am I far off with that comment?
I mean, she's not as good as Lucius or Roy. Like, what do you want me to say?
Well, even I mean,
she's not a necessary.
no, I know,
but
I know. But
she
I'm just
just-
saying.
this is a
let me not
nice
sour
little-
the mood. This was a good podcast.
Let's end it here, and then we can start talking.
Yep. I think that's a good idea. I think we covered a lot of good
Alright,
stuff. I
that's
think
fine.
we should save some things, maybe like talking about. Well, I don't even know. We will regroup and talk about what next week brings. I'm sure we will discover some more things, which will be exciting.
For sure. And I mean, there's still like unit buffs and stuff.
That's what I was gonna say.
That we can like circle back around because we had a lot to cover
We did.
this week. We had a lot of ground.
So
Sure did.
I like it. Thank you guys for picking up my cheering up my spirits a little bit. Just helping me come
That's
full
what we're here
circle.
for, you know?
Hey man, the real Claudia was the friends we made along the way.
Absolutely.
Oh, God, here we go.
man. The power of friendship. With
Yes, sir.
that, guys, thank you all
Speedy girl,
for coming
Go,
out.
go.
Enjoy the video of our newest Speedy Girl. And we'll see you again next week. Thank you to my co-hosts. And like we always say, work hard, play harder. See you in the next podcast.